top.
Light it up top.
Top Hits USA from RPM. Our name says it all. Get the latest hits while they're the hottest. With Top Hits USA, you'll have the track for sure. Visit tophitsusa.com or call 800-521-2537 and get a free demo.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Well, you know, it could be that after hearing what Joshua talked about his computer for editing in the last show, that our computers have got this huge computer envy thing going on.
Probably.
70 gazillion cores on that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because some of the plugins that he was talking about, those of you who didn't check in the last show, he was talking about using Ableton, different things for mix. Some of the plugins require like 12 to 20 mega RAM to run one plugin on one channel. So,
Jeez,
and like he said about the video editing and stuff, I do a lot of that too, and it's a timing thing, it's an editing thing, and then you have to commit to it to get it right. And many times you do it, and then you go, "This sucks! I can't believe I just spent my lifetime on this, and it sucks." Been there.
You know, I like to use color crayons.
It's just a different form, and it is part of what I want to talk about tonight in my rant. Is about stuff like that he's teaching.
Yeah,
not in a bad way. I'm saying it in an encouraging way. So
we're back. It's Monday night. We are here to talk about important things. Really, not so much, but I like to say that because otherwise, Shani would think that hanging out with us is just kind of weird. So we talk about it being important. So she'll keep coming back. Shani, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah, third day, and Happy Kwanzaa. I think I got them all.
You did. Now,
okay.
Now, Dan, please offend some people.
Festivus.
Festivus is just all December. Isn't Festivus just the whole month of December?
But you haven't wished anybody happy Festivus yet, so.
Well, just because it's the whole month.
Offended.
So.
I'm offended.
Okay, already offended one. Let's put a little tally on the board. Shani offended one.
Ding.
Whatever.
Ding, there's one.
So tonight's show is going to be a little bit different than our typical shows because, well, no, probably not. We're still going to go in tangents. We're going to get lost. There'll be a little moment where I have to go cry a little bit. So yeah, it'll be just a typical Monday night show. So MJ, what are we going to talk about tonight?
We're going to talk about how my right monitor just froze on me. No, I'm kidding. Tonight, we want to not only allow me to have a couple minutes to rant. I am going to rant tonight, but we want to, this being the last show of 2016, we want to kind of get some other people's ideas of what you want to see, not only just from this show, but from any of the Disc Jockey News shows, stuff that you're like, I wish you guys would cover more of this. How come you never talk about this? Things like that. And that's what kind of what we're going to do tonight is we're going to let you bring in ideas, discuss ideas that we currently have to possibly put into motion and stuff like that. But that's kind of tonight.
Yeah, and for those of you who are typing in the chat room tonight, I cannot follow along. So MJ, Shaney, and Dan will be there carrying on conversations, answering questions, what have you. For those of you who are familiar with the eye stuff, I had one of the surgeries last week, and that means that everything's a blur close. But boy, if this computer would be 6 feet away, I would be able to see it like no tomorrow. But right now, I can't see enough to read. So
we're going to tell, in the chat room, John, someone said that you're a terrible person.
Dang it, Jimmy. Or was that Shaney typing again? What? She wants to make sure she stays up on that tally on the wall. Like, come on. Okay, so let's kind of talk about the reason we wanted to bring this topic up or this concept up tonight is that this is the time of the year where we do some reevaluating of what we want to be doing for 2017. This is the time of the year where the advertisers start, what's going to be new for next year? You always want to be doing what's new for next year. And we've got a lot of ideas, but getting some feedback from you guys is really going to be kind of key to helping us, kind of put the final pieces into place. So, MJ, are we getting... Kind of get us going, MJ.
All right, I'm just going to go into my rant, and my rant isn't necessarily like a flat-out rant, but it's got a lot of information. So let me go through the entire thing before you shut me down.
Oh, wait, I do have a mute button, don't I?
Yes, you do. Everyone has a mute button for me. You don't understand why. This show originally was created, and I went back and looked, the very first filming of this show, the first... whatever you would call it, the first attempt was February 2015. So we're almost 2 full years into trying to pull this off. And when it comes to doing what we do, it comes down sometimes to advertising dollars and who wants to advertise on us is like John said. And they're looking at what are you going to do and who's going to watch. So we really do, beyond just have fun, we have to look at numbers. So we have to look at what kind of audience watches us, both in the live and also afterwards, both in the video on demand and also the podcast audio downloads, because that actually is a lot of people who do the audio only downloads. So we have to look at all of that. But my idea for the show was to make it different than all the other shows, because almost 100% of the shows on Disc Jockey News are very informational shows that pertain almost specifically towards people who do wedding style DJing. Okay. They are oriented towards everything from sales to the physical setup of equipment. And I kind of wanted this show to be a little bit different, to kind of go into another genre of DJs, to reach another audience, because we clearly have your attention for the wedding DJs. We do, and you like us, but we want to try to reach more and maybe reach some other people who are on the fringe, who don't do weddings, or maybe haven't gotten to do weddings yet, or don't care about doing weddings, whatever, but that still absolutely love and live for DJing. So what I want to do is something different with this show. I want to look at the fact that, the majority of the DJs, if you look at DJs in general as a whole, a number, DJs who are wedding DJs are outnumbered probably about 10-1 by all other DJs. And we're talking everything from an underground DJ, some dude just playing in his bedroom online for his friends to see. We're talking about underground events, restaurant DJs, bar DJs, club DJs, festival DJs, DJs who just go out for fun every once in a while and play, DJ out with a friend or something. We have battle DJs, we have local stuff and national people. All of those fit into that non-wedding category. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the other shows almost doesn't relate to them. And that's why I kind of wanted to make this show a little bit more towards that. 2 years into it now, we're not bad. We're good. We have a lot of fun. I really think we have a lot of fun, and I think our viewers have a lot of fun, but I don't think we're at where I want to be with the show. And that's why I'm looking into 2017 and some of the changes that we're thinking about doing. I want this show to be a lot more lively and just cross, Shaney booping people and just, a lot of just back and forth stuff instead of a lot of the same tried and true things. Yes, we are all, and please forgive me for any of you who don't want to be called this, we are all middle-aged DJs. I'm not looking at anybody, no eye contact. And so our topics, we are in reality middle-aged DJs sitting around talking. So, there is a limit to our excitement, I guess, that could be. But I think our topics can be really edgy. And when I say edgy in these hot topics, I'm not talking like Mac, because this to me is an old abused topic, Mac versus PC. I'm talking about what we talked about last week, where some dude breaks a Mac or a PC over his knee. Those are the trendy kind of hot topics I want to talk about, things that are hitting. I think we should be talking more about the act of DJing. And when I say that, go and look on Wikipedia for the definition of what a DJ is and see if you fit into that. That's all I'm going to say on that. There are millions and millions and millions of hits on people who sit and watch other DJs DJ. And we should be talking about that. We should be talking about the boiler room sets. We should be talking about turntable TV, DJ mag sets, Dance Trippin' TV, or Visual Eye Candy's Tuesday night show, which I think is incredible. We talk about the competitions. I think we should be talking about that and how they're being judged and how the rules are changing and how things are going with that for like Freestyle, the DMC competition, or the Pioneer competition. We can talk about more of the equipment, the hardware, the software, what people are using, what they're not using, what has changed, why they're using it, stuff like that. We could be talking about the trends within the DJ world. Why are the companies putting things into software or hardware, and why are they not putting other things into software and hardware? Talking about what we want from the companies and what they're giving us. And what I'm finding out now, a lot of people, we could be talking about the things you didn't know were already there. Because we're doing that with some of the software things that people are like, I didn't even know that was there. I didn't even know that button was on my controller. Yeah. I think stuff like that we need to be hitting on just this show. The other shows, I'm not saying change anything else. I'm saying I want this show to be that way. We can talk about music on this show, but differently than the other shows, not just here's a suggestion of a song to play. Let's talk about the charts. Let's talk about the fact that both J. Cole and The Weeknd, when their albums were released, they had almost the entire album in the top 40. Currently, right now, J. Cole's album has 10 songs inside the top 40 on Billboard Hot 100. 10 songs at the same time. That's not a model of older DJing. It's a newer way of looking at things. And I want to talk about how that we as DJs should be paying attention to when Spotify puts an album on there and it becomes the highest, most listened to album ever. Why is that important to us? Stuff like that. I want to talk about new things and not just regurgitate the same things over and over all the time. I want this show to be fresh as it can be. How many shows can we do about photo booths? Let's be real about that. How many shows can we do about photo booths? So I want us to set ourselves apart. I want us to find our own path, and I want us to set the pace that we want to set. The only way to change is to change. It's as simple as that. And if anybody's ever watched the movie Shawshank Redemption, which I'm a very big fan of that, they have a line in there that says either get busy living or get busy dying. And I'm at the point right now, 2017 coming up, some ideas that we talked about behind the scenes of stuff that we may be changing in the educational side of Disc Jockey News. I'm ready to set fire to something. Whether it's be set fire to a rocket that sends us positively or set fire to it and burn it to the ground. One way or the other. And that's what I want this to be. So tonight, I want both our staff, I want you in the chat room, those who watch it on demand, in the podcast, whatever. Give us an idea saying, I want to see more of this. I want to see less of this. I saw this guy speak at this place. Get him on the show. Anything like the guy that John just had on the shows before this. First time ever for us having anybody who does anything like that on there. And it was a very good, thing to look at, someone who physically mixes the music for you to then go and play somewhere. So things in the world of DJing that still fit into that, but aren't, hey, how do I get a bride to sign a contract? Or, what's the best way to introduce a bride and groom 7 times during an event? Even though those are good and important, I think there's a lot of DJs out there who would love to be a part of what we do, and I want to try to include them with this show.
I'm sorry, you lost me after you called me middle-aged. What'd you say?
Okay, some of us are middle-aged. I don't know. I mean, because if you want me to,
I'm messing with you, MJ. Relax.
You want me to go into statistics about middle age? Technically, 50% of all American men die between the age of 55 and 62. So that means for half of American men, middle age is 27 to 32. So that's a scary number. So we're old enough. Let's do something while we're here. Let's light a fire under the rocket or something. That's where I'm at.
My mic keeps falling.
So there's my rant. I know it's not the typical rant you're used to where people are swearing and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's just not me. But I am opinionated. And like I said, because it's been almost 2 full years of me trying to make this show the direction I want it to make. And I'm at a crossroads for me and some of the stuff that John is offering and opportunities within Disc Jockey News for me to do, that I may just diverge off of this and focus on that. Because I think I know that has something that I can put my knowledge and effort into and make very positive thing for a lot of people if I invest in it. So there it is.
What's the chat room? What are you guys seeing in there?
There's a couple different things going on. And basically to answer your question, it's not necessarily that it's broke, but his question was, I guess I did not ever feel that the DJN TV network was broken and needing fixing. What's broke? And the answer is it's not. It's not that it's broke. It's just, what could you do better? If you wait for something to break, it's too late.
Yeah.
And so the idea is to take what is happening, especially with this show, and take it to a different level, if you will, or a different direction, maybe for this one, but not the rest of the network.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So, or if you have ideas for other shows, if you want to see Brian S. Reed talk about something, talk about that,
And that's part of it, I guess. I want to make sure we get across that, what we have for shows today, some things are going to stay the same. There's going to be some different flavor once we get into our programming shows for 2017. Our start for the real shows is going to be March 1st. And the reason for that is because we've got a contract in January and February that we are doing a lot of things with the Mobile Beach show. So our calendars. So when we're talking changes, you're going to see these. Sometime in February, you'll start to see us drop things, and then March 1st is our official 2017 launch. That would be our what do they call that when things when the show is starting to fall?
Season premiere.
Season premiere.
There we go. Thank you. That will be that time.
This year on Disc Jockey News.
One question I had, and Shani, you might have some thought onto this, is. And we have some things in works with this, but programming for a female DJ, is that something, as you've been talking to different to ladies and such at the different conventions and things, is that an area, do you think, that there is a call and a need for? You look at their camera.
Sorry, I don't mean to hesitate. I'm just a little confused on the question.
Yeah. The programming that basically that's dealing with some of the. I mean, there's some certain situations, certain things that are going to be more of a female perspective, or how I handle situations or how I look at things may be different than how you would. So
are we talking more like in the private events circuit of doing like weddings and private events? Anything,
basically. What I'm wondering is we've got a couple of things again that we're working on, but is there an audience for having a more topics that would be kind of related to the working women in the DJ industry?
Well, my whole thing about it, and I know I've said this in numerous interviews and articles and stuff, that when I DJ, I'm a DJ first and I'm a female second. I look at everything through just being a DJ and being the person that is running the crowd and running the music. If there's a certain situation that happens on the dance floor, or a certain situation that happens with a party planner or a customer or a guest, then yeah, I'm sure everybody looks at things differently, whether you're male, female, hot-headed, yin-yang, however. So, I mean, I've sat in on numerous female chat rooms and everything, and I'm just going to keep it 100 with everybody because I do that. I don't like them. I don't like the female chat rooms. I don't like being around those people because a lot of them, and I'm not saying everybody, so any females out there, I'm not saying everybody. The majority of the ones that I've seen at conferences are so negative Nancy, I cannot be around them. They do the why me. They talk about like, why are the males taking our jobs? Why don't we get the respect? Why don't we this? Why don't we that? And I look at them and I say, well, are you walking into the room commanding the room? When you walk into that room, does it look like you're the person in charge? It doesn't matter if you're 4'2" or if you're 6'4". It doesn't matter if you're male. It doesn't matter if you're female. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, yellow, Samoan, whatever you are. You know, to me, my whole thing is just like when I'm DJing, I personally don't look at it from like, what would a female do? I look at it from, how am I going to do a kick butt event right now or a club and get people on the dance floor? But yes, do I have the people that come up to me that say, for a female, you're a great DJ and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm always going to get that. That's never going to change. And it is what it is. And I make little jokes about, wait, I'm a female? I didn't know that. Oh my God, thank you for letting me know so I know what bathroom to walk into. But I think when it comes down to other situations, whether it be talking to somebody or dealing with a situation, again, I don't think it matters if, I think that matters if you're female, male, hot-headed, can keep a cool response. I don't know any of my female colleagues that look at things differently when it comes to programming music. Now, maybe when it comes to programming the night, yeah, we probably look at it differently than maybe some males when it comes to private events. At my club stuff, absolutely not. I try to go in there and just from the get-go, just bring the fire. But as far as it comes to programming the music, I don't look at it from, me being a female and what if I play this, I mean, I might, when it comes to, I want the ladies on the dance floor, because we all know that if the girls are on the dance floor, the guys are going to get on the dance floor. So I think about it more of what songs are going to be the girls on the dance floor. Of course, if I'm in a club, it's going to be more of the booty songs that are going to get the girls on the dance floor. But I also calculate it for when I'm at the private events, what's the age range? What's this? What's that? So maybe in the back of the mind, the female brain is working and I just don't know it, because I'm looking at it in that way. But I don't personally think I look at it from a female perspective. I look at it more from, I am the DJ and I'm going to just get this crowd rocking. I hope that answered the question.
No, it does. And that's
Okay.
kind of the thought is that, and MJ's made that statement is, the DJ is the DJ is the DJ, but you've got to be focusing on the DJ rather than as we do with a lot of our shows, is they're very segmented out for the wedding market.
It's okay to do those. I don't want us to ever eliminate those ever.
Yeah.
But I would like to see us diverge and grab a few of those young kids who are just spinning in their bedroom that are interested but don't have a care in the world to spin at a wedding, that maybe just want to get their groove on somewhere and give it a try.
Yeah.
Because they spend money too.
Oh, for sure.
So they're going to be equipment from Newmark and all the companies that sponsor us. So that's, let's talk to all of them. That's my mind behind it. I don't want to eliminate one or the other. I want to be more inclusive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it really doesn't matter, this whole PC versus Mac and Newmark versus Pioneer and this and that. My whole thing is, if you know what you're doing, you could spin on anything. And I know I've said that numerous times, like, give me that Fisher Price, turntable.
When I find one,
I'll spin a set. I know I'm going to spin a whole set, on it, and as far as the people that say that, my whole thing is lower your ego a little bit, boo-boo. Like, bring it down a notch, because you are not bringing in the numbers in Vegas. You are not, playing at Omnia. You're not, I don't see you on Instagram showing your flyers that you're at this place on this weekend, and you're flying here on this weekend, and you're doing this on weekends. So my whole thing is, all the DJs can kind of bring their egos down a little bit, and we can all get along and get together and ask people questions and get answers from each other. And we could be a big network of people that can help each other, instead of like, oh, that guy over there, he's got the biggest ego, I'm not gonna talk to him. Like, I think for 2017, let's, whatever's going on in the world, like, hopefully the DJ community can come together.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, America.
She looked at MJ. Did anybody else pick up on that?
Do what? Do what? Wait. What?
No, we're good. Keep going. Yeah.
No, what are you talking about?
If you didn't hear it the first time, it wasn't worth repeating.
we
Okay,
go.
so let's take a little intermission from our deep thoughts to go into favorite George Michael song.
Oh,
I
yeah.
posted. I had to pick an album on this. Mine's easy, and it's an album because
Wait, we're doing this afterwards.
Yeah. No. That's the break of the seriousness to talk about that.
Oh, I thought we were taking a break for sponsors.
Oh no. We did that right away. We
Oh,
did that.
my bad. Okay, that was my bad.
Which the
Sorry,
sponsors, of
MJ.
course, of our DJ and TV shows, the links are down in the description below. So please go down and show them some love, because some of the sponsors are coming back with us in 2017 because they really have appreciated. A couple of you have gone out and, in the case of Electro Voice, you went out and bought some speakers and you dropped our name. Yay! So thank you. And for
definitely
those of you,
for sure.
if you brought the speakers and didn't drop our name, shame on. Oh, don't go there. We won't go there.
Post pictures of the winnings. Make sure you take a picture of you with your stuff and post and tag both Disc Jockey News and the brand of the equipment. Because trust me, I see a lot of those brands that repost pictures of you doing your setup with their brand, and that's going to expand your audience to where somebody maybe doesn't know you but sees your stuff on Chauvet's or JBL's or whatever's Twitter feed or Facebook feed, and they'll be like, "Oh, I know that dude. He's in my town. Maybe we should hire him or work with him or
You never know.
pay him money not to show up. I don't know. Whatever works."
Yep.
Mine for George Michael, it's not even one of his biggest selling albums, but it's for some reason it's by far my favorite. It's an album called Older, and it came out in the mid '90s, and it kind of had a jazz feel. And I think only one of the songs ever got any radio airplay, but I really, really liked the album. So if you want to, one of the things I liked about the album that after I bought it that I liked even more was the fact that he plays a lot of his own instruments on that album. And that's one of the things that made it jump out. I like the sound of it, but I also like the fact that that's really him doing a lot of stuff on that album. Older is the name of it.
Interesting.
From like 95, I think, 94.
Interesting.
It's there. It's
Dan.
the whole album.
I did you say album or song?
You're one. I just
Yeah, he's
I was gonna say I'm not gonna be able to pick an album. I didn't know his albums in any way, shape, or form. I've kind of got a toss up between two, and I go very mainstream a lot of times with the music that I tend to like, and it'd be Faith and Freedom. Those are the two. I think Faith because it was one of the first songs I ever really heard and kind of knew that it was him, as opposed to Wham and that whole deal. And it was nice. It was short. It was fun. It was upbeat. And then Freedom kind of has a nice groove to it. And it was just one of those things that was like, oh yeah. And I kind of, to be honest with you, had forgotten about Freedom until everything happened and people started playing it. And I was like, oh yeah.
Well, you have to remember, Freedom has all those really pretty models in there. So that's why I like it. It's because it's Linda Evangelista in it. No kidding.
It's the video.
No, that was the best video. That was, it was the top 5 supermodels of the time. That was the best. Video.
I have to go watch the video now. I'm just
Linda Evangelista is my favorite, but that's just me.
No, that was the best video. It really was. I mean, from back then. No, I'm just saying it really was from back then.
Some sort of like, male-female rift here and have you yell at me for being chauvinistic or something. And you're like, no, I like it. I really do.
Okay, let me explain something about myself. Here's a little shady tidbit. If there's a hot girl, I'll say she's hot. So like, I have no problem talking about hot girls. There were the supermodels back then compared to the supermodels now. They were supermodels. They were hot. I mean, and they're still hot. Those girls were, women, whatever you want. I mean, they're still hot.
Yeah.
So no, I love that video.
There was both guys and girls in the video. So if
they were guys, they were but and they did a tasteful hot video.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I really do like it. Back then it was a very tasteful, even though like Cindy Crawford was in the bathtub and everything, like it was a very tasteful hot video. And as much as you guys know I like Pitbull, I mean, you can't go 3 seconds into a Pitbull video without seeing a thong 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 thong. So I mean it is
the 3 B's, booty,
right,
and brass holes.
like for real. I mean, I love him to death, but seriously.
the version of I just Don't Stop the Party. I actually have a different video edit that I play just because of that.
Yeah, I've been really appreciating. Promo Only's been coming out with a lot of lyric edits. of their songs. And oh my gosh, that's so much nicer because it's like, yay, I can play it. Except
I just did a video remix of 24K because I felt that was a little too for certain things. So I got the footage from when he performed on Saturday Night Live and synced it to the song and went from there.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't want any more. Like, I want 2016 to just be over because this is just terrible.
It was bad when one of my friends put up the meme, celebrity deaths of 2016 just about over. Wham! There was another one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And Carrie Fisher's in the hospital with a heart attack, and
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, it really is. I mean, we've lost a lot of great entertainment people. And a lot of great music, real music that for the youngins, real music that. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it always seems like when they do the awards show, you see the in memoriam of, and there's like 5 people you've heard of, and the rest are people that are like, I have no clue who they're talking about, but okay, it was, sorry to hear about them. This year, it's gonna be insane. Like just the how long it's gonna be, and just you're gonna know the majority of them. It feels like. I mean, I don't know.
John, what's yours?
Actually, I would be going back to a Wham song, and it was actually I had gotten a cassette single that had, I think, maybe 4 or 5 different versions of the song "I'm Your Man," and they had some really, really cool extended mixes of "I'm Your Man," and it was a great cassette. And I looked for some of those mixes anywhere, and I haven't been able to find them, but it was a good song. And it was one that I had put on, back in the day. I had my Fisher stereo, and I would put that cassette in, and the little 10-inch speakers, one in each window, because and I could go down and we were down by the lake, so I could have those in the windows, and then go sit out there in the sun and listen to Wham.
For those who don't know, John, tell them what a single cassette is.
Single.
Use the proper
single.
Yes, it was a cassette, a tape cassette, and my Fisher had the auto play where it would auto flip, so it would actually switch to the other auto reverse, I should say. So it would play 2 or 3 versions from one side, flip, and play this other versions on the other side. So yes, in that 20-minute period or what have you, we were hearing the same song over and over and over again, but it was pretty cool. I liked that track. So
cool.
Shaney.
Oh, I loved George Michael. He was one of my first crushes. So, his music, his style, just like everything. Everything I just loved about him. Of course, I was a Wham fan, back in the day, did my little sidestep, Carlton before it was Carlton type dance to Wham. But he had some good slow jams that, yes. I loved, of course, like Careless Whisper, for all those who don't know that song, shame on you for not knowing Careless Whisper.
Sing it for Shaney.
But I also liked Father Figure. That was a good slow song. Then of course, Freedom I love because I love it. I really do love that video. Like the video's just hot. So, I love you guys know back then when they always had videos, a lot of times you really didn't like a song. I'm not saying I never liked it because I always liked the song, but then the minute you saw the video, you loved the song because you saw a video, you're like, yeah, I really do like this song now. And it's so funny how visuals and things like that can just change the way you think.
What wasn't in that video? See if you remember.
What was it? Well, he wasn't in the video.
Exactly. Yeah, because he was protesting like Prince did with trying to get away from his record label, and he said, "I'm not going to be in any more videos, so screw you guys."
Yes, he wasn't in the video at all, and then of course, he burned the coat from. If anybody knows what song he burned the coat from. Anyway, well, they're like delayed in our chat room, so I can't say it. So I'll wait to see if anybody says it. But then I also liked that he came out with the song "I Want Your Sex" because it was, because he did the whole controversy thing. Like it was always like Madonna back then. Yep. That was like the controversy artist. So he came out with a song, And it was like, okay, are they, you know, because he's a guy, are they not going to go on him the way they were going on Madonna? So that's why I just loved so many things about him, that he really was a true artist. And even if you listen to like the music in his songs and you took his words out of it and listened to the instrumental, it was real music. Like it really was real music compared to like some of the music nowadays.
You say Broccoli's not a real song. Come on now.
It only is when I'm with my hip hop guys, because it's their theme song. It's their theme song.
Or sweatshirt. Yeah, your favorite. For those of you who don't know, she loves that song so much that every time she DJs it, she sends me a text with a picture of the song and the floor going bananas crazy.
and then I'll send a picture of my face like this. And I'll just send this now and be like, guess what song I'm playing? And the kids just go crazy. They sing every word of it. But I mean, George Michael to me was just, you know, like a Prince, like a David Bowie, was just like one of those artists that just knew about music and lyrics and what to do for the crowd and entertainer. Yeah. You know, I don't mean entertainer like when he's on the stage. Yeah, he was shaking his booty in the jeans, but you know, entertain.
Because I remember the Saturday Night Live skit, Dana Carey used to imitate him, and he'd turn around and he said, "Look at my butt, it's perfect. Look at it, it's perfect."
Every part of the song, it's, you know, the words and the music and the saxophone players and, you know, and everything. So again, another one just
to prove how good he was. If you remember at the I think it was the ending ceremony or the opening ceremony for the London Olympics, George Michael performed live at that, and he killed it. It was like he still can. I mean, it wasn't him with a bunch of dancers and lights. It's him by himself, and he was rocking it. And I'm like, talent is talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and that kind of is what I'm talking about as far as like a DJ goes. Talent is talent. It doesn't matter. You know, I always say to people, you know, we all want to come out with the bells and the whistles for our clients and the moving heads and this and that and the staging and the lights and all this kind of stuff. But if you took all the bells and whistles away, would you be able to DJ or MC your event with all of that taken away on just your abilities of what you have?
You have the skills to pay the bills.
And if you don't, then you know what you need to do for 2017. And we could talk about that in our shows of what you think you need to do for 2017. If you're saying like, okay, I you know, my microphone scales, like all of a sudden, like for instance, the power goes out. Now you don't have your mic. I mean, you have probably whatever's battery operated, but now that the power's out, are you freaking out like the guests, or within that millisecond, can you do something to calm everybody down and still get the party rocking and do what you have to do? As far as your DJ skills, you know, like I said, I mean, I gave you guys one of my little go-tos when I'm in the club. When I freak out or I'm doing something or I'm dealing with a situation and there's 10 seconds left, I just play a Pitbull song, you know, like that is my go-to. And I wasn't saying that, yeah, it's funny. Yeah. But you know what? It saves me. It saves me because Pitbull has a variety of type of songs, you know, depending on what type of crowd I have, what type of culture I'm dealing with, and it saves me. So you know, those little tiny things that I do at my events, whether it's mobile or whether it's club, is because I've practiced it and I've been in the situations that all you guys are talking about. And I've had those moments. Yeah. Like I've sucked, you know, I mean, I got thrown to the wolves on my first MC gig. You know, my first MC gig, I didn't know what I was doing. I was, you know, just the person on the microphone, the interactive MC that was supposed to get the party started. My interactive dancers and my DJ were taking the cues from me. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know I couldn't walk in front of a speaker with a microphone. Whoops. You know, we laugh about that now, but I had to learn those type of things. You know, I'm not as good as I am now because, you know, I was born this way. You know, I wasn't, you know, I still practice my skills. I still have rehearsals with my team, whether it's our dance rehearsals for our interactors or our MCs to just talk and like how we do on the show. And for 2017, we want to help you guys get to where you want to be. And if it's talking about the equipment, if it's talking about skills, if it's talking about this, if it's talking like that, we want to be here for you guys. So please let us know, what you guys want. I know I totally segued from George Michael and I'm on my soapbox right now, but MJ did his rant and he said I was able to do mine. So I just kind of like segued into my little rant. But I just, want you guys that we want to better you. We want to better the show. We want to better you guys. And for us, no question is too stupid, because guess what? I know I've been there and there's no shame in my game. I still have numerous questions. I still text my mentors. I still call my mentors with 911 phone calls. So if we could help people, we want to do that for you guys. And, I know sometimes we type stuff and you can't really hear our response, but we're not, and if we're typing it, it's not trying to be in a negative way. It's just because maybe we're talking about something here and we can only, do it in the chat. But please, keep the questions going in the chat room, related to the topics that we're talking about. And we would love to just help you guys out in every way. Okay, I'm done. And cue my exit music.
Boop, boop.
No.
Don't ever give me the option to give you.
I was expecting a little Betty Boop music.
Right, something.
Don't ever give me the option.
Give me the air horn or something. There you go.
I should have given you my tag, and then when you're finished, you're listening to Michael Joseph.
I'll do my drop.
Phil, since Shani took her rant, does John or Dan, do you feel you have some emotion towards the passion of DJing you'd like to drop? It's your mic to drop.
Well, I can give a little insight to kind of what I'm thinking for 2017, and that might help folks get a little idea. Is this fall I've been doing 5 shows on a Monday night, and we've had some really good results. And some nights we haven't had as many people watching, topic related, obviously in most situations. But what I would like to do for 2017 is to have to expand our offerings. And as MJ was referring to, the idea that we're going to have some shows that are going to appeal to this larger audience of DJ, but yet still have our wedding aspect of that, and having more music related shows that we're going to be adding to our repertoire. I mean, we've introduced this fall, we introduced a show on Sunday morning with Sunday with Mike. We're going to be introducing an entertainment show that is going to be based around the whole entertainment side, MC side, that will be coming out here after the first of the year. We've been doing the Wednesday night with our music mixing show, and that has had some really nice response and feedback from that. So it's taking these ideas, putting them together, and then also kind of diversifying our hosts or our show, our staff that's going to be doing it, because you guys don't want to see me every night. You don't want to see MJ every night. Shani probably, but she's got a real job, so she can't be here with you every night. Dan, yeah, he's like us. You don't want to see us old guys. So those are that's true. He is the young whippersnapper in the room.
I am the youngest one here, which is surprising, but still.
But that's the idea, is we're just trying to figure out what, and another question is going to be timing during the week. What's going to be a good time. I've actually had, I think it was Reggie and Ian, or maybe it wasn't Ian, but anyway, I had a couple of people who had messaged today saying, I really miss the 12 Days of Christmas, because we had live shows multiple times a week, and it was something, it's like, there's nothing on TV. Well, we know that there's a live show going to come on tonight. And it was a time that people could hang out and such. And that sense of DJ community is really, that's an important part of what we do. So there's lots of aspects, topics, types of shows, days of the week that work better. Delivery systems, we do the YouTube thing with this show. That's great. The webinar things, do we do some more private in-depth training options? And as MJ referred to, that there's going to be some different training that we're going to be doing within the Disc Jockey News that will be kind of a setup for some of you who want to go get advanced training through the IDJNA, which is more of a mobile DJ side of it. These things are all going to be fitting together in our puzzle in 2017. It's just a question of getting those pieces to fit you the best way we can do it. So that's my story. Now, Dan, you can
sticking to
tell. Now, Dan, you can tell a story.
I got nothing. No.
That's okay. We can talk about New Year's Eve then.
Yeah. No. You know, one of the things that I think that's kind of unique about this show, it maybe more so than what some of the other ones that we tune in for and check out, and maybe I'm completely off base by this comment, but you know, when we talk about reaching out to you guys and we keep talking about the chat room and those of you that are catching up afterwards to, you know, to send us those messages, you know, this is the one that really, I would say, is driven by you. You know, the other ones are, we hear about something and you know, it's a need that gets filled because it was a training idea that was brought by either the presenter or, you know, somebody threw it out and that created the whole show. But this weekly aspect that we have here, it's a show that's built in every week. It's the four of us and we're hanging out and we're reaching you and based upon what you want to say and what you want to hear. So I think that tends to be a lot of what is kind of the uniqueness about this show. Me personally, I like the different offerings, but in the same respect, I'm the mobile guy. So that's why I think sometimes I like kind of with what Ian said earlier, you know, I didn't think anything was broken. And again, nothing's broke. It's what can we do to make it even better?
Yeah.
For me personally, you know, I think one of the things I would like to see us reach out to is that part-time guy. And, you know, when I first came on board with John and Disc Jockey News, it was one of the things that I said to him. I was like, you know, there's not a lot of voice for the part-time. And we're talking about a lot of these guys or a lot of the audience that we're not reaching or we want to be able to reach is those bedroom DJs, is those ones who are doing this on the side who might just want to be able to pick up something or might want to learn something, not necessarily make a career out of it. You know, I feel like, you know, those are some topics that, and you guys let me know in the chat room if this is where you're thinking, it might be beneficial because you're wondering, how do I balance, you know, 12 things at one time? And we've had little shows here and there that have kind of broached that. Everything from the virtual expos that we've done all the way up through little, you know, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, different once in a while shows. I think sometimes it's always good for those refreshers. So that's my little.
Yeah, for those that are commenting in the chat room, I know we've all been like trying to explain this to you guys, and I'll just kind of break it down one more time. The show's still gonna be the four of us. So if you want those specialized shows, those are insider shows, and those are other shows. And MJ's going like this, and I don't
It may not be.
Well,
It's hard. It's hard to say. We may retool a little bit.
But it's not going to be the one-on-one shows that you guys are asking about. Those are shows that you could talk to John about for like the shows that are before us and things like that, where you want just like a show about this person talking about this person talking about that. We're talking more of like, you know, like what Dan just said, maybe about like the part-time DJs or the DJs that are just starting out, or, you know, a club DJ, or, you know, it doesn't always have to be like, for instance, I know we keep saying wedding DJ. I want to be honest, guys. I only do 10% weddings. Like in this whole, out of all of us, my whole company, we do weddings, but that's not my bread and butter. I definitely do weddings, but on my mobile side, that's not where I make my money. You know, I make my money on the bar and bat mitzvah circuit. I make my money doing the teen parties. I make my money doing the school parties, and I make my money doing the corporate stuff on our side. So it doesn't just have to be about the wedding, you know, DJs. We could talk about the other stuff on the mobile side. And we, like we said before, we could get into like the clubs and the bars and all that kind of stuff, and the other different types of aspects. So we definitely want, you know, to hear what you guys want us to talk about in those specialty shows. Yes, please reach out to MJ and John so we can kind of get that stuff going as well.
I just think there's a huge audience. 'Cause like I said, it's tough for sometimes people to see both sides of the DJ. When I say both sides, and there's a whole lot more than just two sides to the DJ world. But a lot of people say, you know, oh, a wedding DJ or a club DJ. There's a whole lot more than that. A lot more than that. And a lot of the guys that I know do both all the time. So you have a whole group of people out there who love DJing, but looking at the stuff that we talk about sometimes, like a photo booth, and to them, that's not even something they would ever care about, because they want to see how to do that special mix. That guy did that quick mix, or where did he get that edit at? Those are the people who, like I said, we're not changing what we're doing. What we're doing is we want to have topics and content for those people, for guys who want to learn to mix, the guys who already know how to mix, but enjoy just watching other people mix. You would not believe how many millions of hits people get from just putting a set out there of them DJing live. That's it. People like to watch that. You may not, but other people love to watch people do that. And I think we can reach those too. And then when we get those interested in some of the shows that that we're talking about out there, on mixing or whatever, then they might go, well, I've been thinking about doing weddings. Maybe I should watch the show on how to talk on a mic and see if Shaney tells you if it's important to walk in front of a speaker or not. But there's a lot of beginning stuff that you don't realize that with the classes that I teach, that you don't think that you need to learn, that we can offer. One of the first classes that I did, I went in and set up my computer stand for the class, and the kid who's taking my class goes, "Oh, what's that?" He didn't know what a computer stand was. And one of the things recently in one of the classes, I had a guy, a full-grown adult, who thought that he really, I need the more advanced class. I'm going to do this. And we start talking about cue points. And I'm like, well, you got to worry about your first cue point. And he's like, which cue? And I'm like, the first one. And he's like, I don't understand which cue. And I'm like, the first cue. And he's like, no, there's 3 buttons on here that say cue. And it's the cue button, which we say stop button. It is the hot cues for the cue points, and the cue for the headphone, or the PLF, pre-listening function. All 3 are called cues. So these are things that a young DJ, that you sitting and doing this for 20 years, completely understand. But there's a whole audience out there like that something simple as which cue do you hit could be a game changer for them. And that's what I think. I think there's a whole audience out there of things like that, in the same sense that the other stuff that we teach, that, knowing what a computer stand is should be the simplest of things. But in the same sense, I could go over and talk to somebody about DMX lighting, and they're talking to me about something, channels and universes, and I've realized that I'm in a different universe when they start talking. Yeah. So,
you mean like how to set it?
What's that? Guadalupe?
Auto loop. Like
Guadalupe. Yeah, Auto Loop was another one that Dan and I were talking about. Guadalupe. I left my wallet in El Segundo.
Guadalupe.
But Dan was talking about auto loops and stuff that a lot of people know how to do, set a loop in a thing by an in and an out set. But some of them now have auto that set the in and the out at the same time at a predetermined 4 or 8, 16, 32 count. So these are things that I think I want to expand upon on stuff. And like Shaney said about when you get down to that last, 20 seconds of the song and you're freaking out, whether it be something goofed up or you just forgot. If you have really good mixing skills, 20 seconds is a long time, because I look at 20 seconds and going, okay, I'm going to try this song. I'll load it. No, I don't like this. I'm going to load this song. Nope, I don't. I'll load 3 songs in 20 seconds. Go, this is the one. Then I'll start mixing, because it becomes more natural to you. And I want to be able to put that kind of skill and ability in your hand, to where you could be talking to a bride, making an announcement, mixing a song, and taking a drink of whatever they're allowing you to drink at the thing. So I want to expand, like I said, to the other people.
It's multitasking. It's good. Yeah. It's be able to do it like it's second nature. It's like breathing, to be able to do all that. So we want to make sure you guys have that comfort level that you can do it on, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. On whatever. I know Mike said about how to set up gear. We needed, it also depends on, like, people have different types of gear. Yeah. So it, it all depends on.
That's important. A lot of people.
It's very important. No, it's very important. I think it's more about troubleshooting your gear once it's set up, and knowing how to troubleshoot your gear if something happens. Yeah. I mean, as much as I always talk about that, I have techs now that, set up my stuff and everything. Trust me, I've been through the ringer. I was there with them back in the day, you hauling and carrying everything in with them and setting it up and everything. So if something needs troubleshooting, I can do it if need be. But that's a big thing, just knowing what to do, knowing, even if you're just bringing your laptop into a club, knowing the gear and knowing, like, if it's not working correctly, what you need to do. And did you bring kind of like a backup? I'm not saying bring a controller in the car, but did you bring a backup, in some different way. So the gear stuff is definitely a good thing.
My DJ 101 class is simply stuff like, this is an XLR cord, this is an RCA cord, this is an adapter, this is a gain knob. If you're in the red, you are not rocking. Which are all things that, that if you use the same equipment all the time, you may not know how to hook up an amp. Or if you use an amp, you may not know, what do I need to run a powered speaker? What's the difference between a powered speaker, I'm just blanking on names for powered speakers.
Electric voice.
Active, non-active, and powered, because they're three different things.
Okay, yeah.
So,
and I mean, just so you guys know, also for those that don't go to any of the conferences, there's conferences and there's seminars on all of this stuff too. So I'm not saying like you just to learn from us, but like Mobile Beat's coming up, and like I know like EV does a sponsored conference seminar, and I'm sure like a lot of the other places do sponsored seminars. Go to those. Go to those and learn and sit there and, like Robin said, I mean, I agree. I'm still learning. It doesn't matter what my skill level is. If there's somebody better than me, I want to learn from them. And because I want to get to where they are. And then once I get to where they are, I want to learn from somebody else who's better than them. And I want to keep learning. I never will stop learning. I won't. I will never stop practicing. I will never stop learning, mixing, all that kind of stuff. And that's why I go to the conferences. And that's why even the ones that I don't speak at, I'm not speaking at this one. I'm not going to go. I sit in the seminar rooms and I take notes and I learn just like everybody else. So, definitely let us know, what you guys want to hear, but also go to the conferences too. Those are really going to help out.
Be specific about this show too, what you want to see us do, or if you just want to see us fade away, or maybe you only want to see Shaney, which I think that's what most people want, the Shaney show.
No.
Knobs and buttons with Shaney.
We'll just put your picture on top of MJ's window.
Knobs and buttons with Shaney, and I'll just run the background things.
Just come to Chicago and hang out at one of my events.
I'll turn out all the lights and hide in the background.
But I'll probably put you to work. So I don't know if you want to come in.
Can you hold big speakers?
If there's another body, I'll be like, can you dress in all black? If not, I'll bring you a shirt.
And can you dance? We need a crowd motivator.
And I say that to my techs all the time if they're staying on site. I was like, if you're staying in the room, don't think I'm not going to throw you on the dance floor. So your little 1 step, 2 step, you better be aware of that.
Clap 1B.
Because nobody just hangs out at my events. You might be passing out party favors, you might be doing something, but I will put you to work.
People, I've heard twice in the chat room tonight, John, people talk about multilingual shows. That is it's important, but it would be a challenge for us. And if someone would maybe know someone and be able to help us, by all means, I don't see any problem with us doing a weekly bilingual if we can have someone that can do it, But I personally, I don't know anybody. Well, actually, I do know someone that could, but I don't know if he wants to. He's actually one of the few DJs I know who's getting out of DJing to only work a day job. Which is really odd. Most of it was motivated by his girlfriend, but
and that is a big motivating factor for a lot of.
I want you to have a real job. I want you to have a real job. Which we've all heard that, So
That's why I have a real. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. It's for everybody. I have a friend of mine who was his sole income was DJing for like 15 or 20 years of his life, and then decided that he wanted to do something else and became a realtor and DJs on the side. And it was at the exact same year that I went from working a day job and DJing only on Friday and Saturday nights to DJing full time. So it was like the two of us just changed places all at once. So you have to find out what's for you, because you may hate DJing full time, or you may, I can honestly say I really did like only DJing on the weekends, because it really let me be a lot more picky about where I wanted to DJ. I could really go, nope, I'm not spinning there. Yep, I'm spinning here. I'll spin there. It was, my Fridays were long because I'd get up for work at like 6 a.m. and then get home from DJing at like 3 a.m. So my Friday was a very long day.
I mean, my biggest pet peeve is updating my music weekly. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
I hate giving money to some of these artists that I want to see fail because their songs suck, but every week I got to give them money.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, of DJing every week, updating every single week. I have to make sure I'm updated every week. And now it's even worse, because now you have to, not only do you have to know what's on the charts, you have to know these stupid YouTube artists.
Yep.
Like, I mean, some of these people come up to me and ask me for songs. I have to Google it. So I make sure, like, I know what they're even asking me. I think they're speaking another language to me when they're coming up to me. And then I was like, oh, is that our song? Okay. Oh, great. I got to make sure I have that one for tomorrow now.
Did you play the pineapple song yet?
The pineapple pen. No, like, I'm not. Like,
Don't do it either.
Like, I don't. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like. It's enough that I've had to play like other like Saturday Night Live skits. Like,
there was a club I used to DJ,
like,
man. I'm on a Boat was such a huge song in that club. It drove me bananas.
like,
advantages to only doing weddings. The chances of those songs are a little bit less.
yeah, that is true. But like, honestly, I just give the look like bye boo boo. Like, unless you want to give me like another song, and I'll even play like Broccoli for you if like that's what it's going to take, or Uber Everywhere if that's what it's going to take. Like, I'll play those damn songs for you if I have to. But that, I know it's like Mike's favorite song right now, the pineapple pen pineapple. Yeah, no, you get a boot from me. I'm sorry. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's not even in my hard drive. Like, I'm not even wasting the space, because I have wasted space on so much other garbage that's in there. I just can't. And I, like, honestly, if somebody does ask for something like that, if it's a private event and it's not on my have to playlist, and a guest comes up and asks, oh, come on, it's really funny. First of all, the whole crowd's not going to dance to it. Half the crowd doesn't even know what that song is, the older crowd. So they're going to be like, what is going on? They're going to walk off my dance floor. So I just turn around to the person and I'm like, can you give me something else that you would like to hear? And I will totally play that song for you. And if it's something that I completely hate, I will just smile through it and I'll play it knowing that I did not play that pineapple pen.
Shani, you're from Chicago. Did you ever play Big Fish, Little Fish?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I used to love that.
I did.
That one I hadn't heard of.
That's probably 90s. So it was.
I think it was. Yeah.
And it was a dance. I don't know which was it, a dance or a song first. I don't remember which people did first. They did the dance to the song, and they made a song around the dance.
No, I think it was the song, and then they made the dance. They made the dance to the song. Yeah.
Where I can see Dan's face every time we mention one of these. Dan's going.
Dan's like,
some of those
I'm like putting in my search bar all these songs just because I'm like.
But that's like when back in the day when Soulja Boy came out. I mean, he was a YouTube artist. So when Crank That came out, I'm sure none of us, and anyone who says that they knew that song, boo-boos, come on, like be honest with us. Like, you were just like us. Like, you were like, oh, it's a YouTube, and that's where half of these like artists are coming from now. Yeah. They're just like these YouTube sensations, like here in Chicago, even like Chance the Rapper. I love him to death, but anyone who doesn't know about him, he's not on a label. Chance gives his music away for free for any of those people that want a little history background about Chance the Rapper. He is not on a label. He will not go on a label. So it's like here in Chicago, I have to make sure I know all his like hits, because I know everybody in Chicago is going to ask for them. And it's not like I can look them up on the top 40 or something, because he's not on there. One song is right now, one of his songs, the No Problem song and stuff like that. But still, like, there's a lot of other, songs. Like, for instance, anyone who's into hip hop, do you guys know that the Lox came out with a new album? So anyone that does like hip hop and dance, like, I have no idea, like, what's even happening.
I got a great topic for us for next year. Like, every week, at least 5 to 10 minutes, the songs that you're gonna have that you really don't want to.
But the Lox, again, like, I think, were they Apple Music or were they Tidal? MJ, do you know?
Tidal, I believe.
Yeah. So like, I don't subscribe to Tidal, but I knew they were coming out with an album, and I knew that probably some of the songs in the underground hip hop, people were going to start like wanting to hear that. So it's like, again, I have to do my research, have to do my history, make sure I have stuff like that. Just like MJ and I joke around about the sweater song, sweatshirt, whatever that.
Sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. Like I didn't know. Like Dan and I had no clue. I'm not bringing John.
The first night, I think we thought it was
Weezer. Yeah, we didn't know like the song. Like I'm being honest. Like I don't know everything, people. I don't. And I don't pretend I know everything. I didn't know that song. And I'm so glad MJ brought it out to my attention, because guess what? The following week, these damn kids wanted it. I played it. They knew every song like this was lip sync battle. Like they went crazy, like it was, Dance Dance Revolution, and they were screaming it on top of their lungs. And I was like, first of all, the song sucks. Let's start with that.
It's not as bad as some. Come on. I'm not saying it's classical music.
No Rebecca Black Friday.
Right. It wasn't like it was. Oh God. Oh my God. And I had like 7 remixes of that because I had to play it all the time. I had like 7 remixes. But it's like, we need to know these things. Like, we need to keep up with the times, and we need to know these things. And like we talked about on one of the other shows, people are even specific about remixes they're requesting, so it's like when it comes to DJing, it's not always about like, oh yeah, I'm good. No, like I said, my biggest thing is just every week updating my music. And I hate it, and I hate it, and I hate it. But guess what? When I'm at the club or I'm at that gig and I'm on fire, I have that smile on my face and I don't hate it until I do it 3 days later. But we got to keep up with it. It's something we have to do for our job.
2 things. One, I do believe it is important, and very few people actually do it. There are charts out there that cover nothing more than illegal downloads, and that's where you're going to start to see those YouTube artists, to where you can't really download their song anywhere necessarily, but these illegal sites, and you just go and look and see what are the top download sites. And I don't hate to go back this far, but Gangnam Style, I saw it just cover this one download chart like crazy, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to get this. And then you saw how big it went. So those are things to look at, or at least we'll be that person for you and give you these. I have no problem sharing. But what I do want to share is this. This is the video. I'm not going to play the words, but this is the video for Big Fish. Wait for it. Big Fish. Big Fish.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Cardboard box. Big Fish, Little Fish. Cardboard box. Big Fish, Little Fish.
Oh, yes.
But it was like, I mean.
Wait, that was the actual official video? This wasn't just somebody like.
No.
That's
the video that somebody made. Like, look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
My.
But that's
Big fish, cardboard box. Big Fish, Little Fish, cardboard box.
What was that? There was another kid song. I did it at like all the camps a couple years ago. The McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And
Gosh, yeah.
Anyone in the chat room know what I'm talking about?
Never played it, but I remember somebody talking about
it
recently too.
McDonald's, Pizza Hut. Yeah, like I had to play it at all the camps. Because we do camp tours. So like every camp, like in fact, to the point where we had to do a remix of it and just do like 3 minutes of the chorus. I wanted to like kill myself because we really did like 3 minutes of just the pizza humming, chicken. Yeah. But like that was a song that was like going around on all the camps all across the United States.
We even look at the Running Man challenge. It only became a cut because of a Vine video. That's it. And all of a sudden you have to play it.
Look at this stupid mannequin challenge. I mean, I was doing the mannequin challenge a long time, like all the time, when I just stand there when I don't want people to see me. I didn't even know I was doing it way before everybody else.
You were so trendy back then.
I was so freaking trendy. I started the mannequin challenge.
See?
But it's like, and then there's that fine line of if anybody really has listened to the words of Black Beetle, it's really not appropriate. It's just not.
Broccoli. Yeah, you want kids at a Catholic school to sing Broccoli.
And that's the thing. And who's listening to those songs?
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah.
So now you have to be that person that turns around and says, you can't be that cool person anymore that plays it. Because if you play it, you're never going to get welcome back there. And then it's that whole blackball thing that I talked about last week. And people are going to talk bad about you. But like Black Beetle, I have no problem doing the mannequin. Like, in fact, I sent the guys my after school dance class. We did the mannequin challenge, but I played Happy. for that. Like I did Pharrell Happy and I kept it. They want to do the mannequin challenge. I did not bring it up to them. And these are second graders, you guys. These are second graders that asked to do the mannequin challenge. That's
with things like that. I found grab an instrumental on something like that. You can at least, like for the little kids, you can get away with it where they still hear the music. There's no lyrics. They can do their mannequin thing. It's over. On to the next song.
Yeah, I just don't bring my DJ equipment with me to my after school program. I have my iPad, but that's true. Like bring the instrumental. I mean, that's true. I mean, I've done instrumental for a lot of songs. Even like I remember doing instrumental for a lot of the hip hop songs that I had to. But it's crazy. Like these kids know everything. And they ask for everything. And it's like, it's our job to know what they're talking about. It is. It's
anticipate, not just know, but anticipate that they wanted to hear it as they're running towards you. Did you download? I know we're at the end of time, but did Shani, did you even mess with the Christmas tree song?
You know, I didn't, just because I was doing a lot of corporate stuff and the corporate stuff I was doing, even with the younger crowd, they just are drinking during cocktails. And if it's open bar, they don't even listen to my Christmas music. They're waiting for the older guys to leave so I can play like all the club and EDM stuff. And I was going to play it one night at the club just to like end the night with it. But I just decided to just mess with everybody and play Adam Sandler, the Hanukkah song. Just because I do that, because as much as everybody wishes me Merry Christmas, I am Jewish, but that's okay. Cause the other side of me does celebrate Christmas. But I just like to end with like funny stuff like that. You know, like I just, like to do
get the F out song. Cause
I just like to do stuff that has nothing to do because I'm Jewish. I just, think that Adam Sandler was like hysterical in those Hanukkah songs. So like, I just did stuff like that, but I did not play the Christmas tree. I didn't do it. I didn't even think
I don't like. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it was a Christmas song done by the guy who does Broccoli, but it was about trees, if you know what I mean. But it was
Broccoli,
a Christmas song about trees, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I decided that unless someone paid me heavily to play it, I'm not going to download it. I don't want to play it, but whatever.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That's when the request has to be on that $100 bill for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to request something, boo-boo? You could write it on a $100 bill.
And just leave it right there. Thank you. Alrighty, gang, we're going to wrap things up tonight. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us out on Facebook, next time join us in YouTube so you can be in the chat room so we can answer questions or respond to what you're doing. Tomorrow night we'll be back again. Brian Red and I will be back talking about, I think he's wanted to talk about New Year's Eve. We're going to talk about some songs and some ideas and sets and getting prepared for this upcoming Saturday night, just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I have to go test a sound system at a place. I'm plugging into theirs and I'm going to go test it before Saturday.
Yeah, we have 6 DJs for New Year's Eve I'm doing the Playboy party. So it's good. Yeah. So if I'm not in jail, I will be here Monday.
Will you be wearing ears though?
24 hours, right? It's a 24 hours. So I should be out by Monday.
Yeah, you should be good. You'll be good.
No, but the Playmates will be wearing like the bunny. One of the DJs, that's a Playmate DJ. She'll be wearing like the whole bunny suit.
She'll be saying, can I borrow your headphones? Can I use your needles?
Yeah, that's when she gets a big old boop from me, and a big boop. Like, no, sorry, boo-boo. You are the Playboy Playmate. You should have your own headphones and a lot of other stuff. But yes.
Good stuff. Thank you guys for being on. Thank you for watching tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, and next Monday night we'll be with our first show of 2017. Jesus, here already.
Whew. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in 2017. That's crazy.
Good night, everyone.